right, let's talk about search engine rank performance or keyword performance. Key phrase performance is another thing you might hear. One of the examples I like to use with a lot of businesses is a competitive industry such as plumbers. I love working with plumbers. I have several plumber clients and I just love them. It's a very competitive industry, and a lot of times, if you're like have never called a plumber in your area, you really don't know who to call. So everybody that calls me is like, I want to show up first for plumbers in Billings, Montana. And I'm like, you and everybody else, you and every plumber out there want to show up first. So what makes you show up first? Well, there are 200 ranking factors in Google's algorithm as to who shows up first. Most of those come from your website. And the website has several factors, like I said, the 200 ranking factors, and those ranking factors are weighted. Some matter more than others. And the trick as a professional SEO person is that Google does not give us the secret sauce. So we kind of have to study trends and algorithms to determine what among those 200 ranking factors we want to focus on first. And so when I meet with a new client, I usually ask them for about 10 key phrases that they would want to rank for on Google. And if you're asked this question, think about it really carefully. Think about if I was a customer, one of my customers, what would I type into Google that would make me my business website would appear? So again, a good example, if I'm a plumber, what would my customer type in and then I would want my website to show up for? So Plumbers Billings, Montana is a great one. That is also going to be one of the top ones that every plumber is out there for. But maybe you specialize in residential plumbing or commercial plumbing or remodels or new buildings, industrial plumbing. So if there's something that you really specialize in, or if you're not sure, tell me the thing you like to do most or the thing you make the most money doing. We're going to work on that key phrase first. So if there is, let's say you're a service plumber. Service plumbing is mostly residential. It's when, you wake up in the morning, you go outside, the sink's been leaking all night, and you need to call a plumber to come fix it. That's service plumbing. But the average Joe doesn't type in service plumbing Billings, Montana, because they don't know the term. They might type in kitchen sink repair Billings, Montana, or kitchen sink plumber Billings, Montana, kitchen sink repair near me, plumbing repair near me, leak repair near me. You can see how many key phrases you can come up with very quickly. And when I assign my clients this task of 10 key phrases, it usually explodes into about 100 pretty quickly. Because you add, the town that you're trying to service, and maybe you service another town, but there are several towns nearby, you'll go within a 50-mile radius. So if you were, let's say you're in Billings, but you also will serve Laurel, Lockwood, whatever, all those key phrases, plumber, Lockwood, Montana, plumbing repair, Lockwood, Montana, you'll see what starts out as a couple key phrases explodes into 100 or more very quickly. Now, the software that I use to track rank performance will track 100 key phrases or more, but most people don't need more than that. And we can also narrow it down by geographic area as well. So you really have to pick the phrases that you want to start ranking for first, so that your SEO professional can kind of pick one thing to start with, because it is very difficult to do, and it helps to kind of pick one thing to focus on first. And then the other thing you got to do is you got to be patient, because one ranking factor is how long has your website been in existence. And if your website has been in existence and regularly maintained over time, you are going to outrank somebody who's brand new. Likely. Like I said, there are several other factors. So a brand new plumber coming in is going to have a harder time beating out a plumber who's had a really great website and a really great SEO work for the last 10 years. So the age of your website, we call it domain authority. So that means that your website has been maintained and not hacked and all this stuff for many years, and so domain authority, the number goes up over time. So that's a factor. How fast your website loads is a factor. How, if your website is accessible to those with disabilities is a factor. Even the colors of your website, if everything is clear, the font is clear, you don't have a light gray font on a dark gray background that makes it hard to read, that can be a factor in your ranking, because that can be difficult for some people to read. So there's a lot of elements that feed into your rank performance, and it is so complex. And then keep in mind too, the shorter your key phrase, not necessarily shorter, but more common. So plumbing, Billings, Montana, that is going to be harder to rank than what we call long tail key phrases or keywords. So find a plumber near me to fix my kitchen sink is what we call a long tail key phrase. It will be easier to rank for that if you focus on that than it will be to rank for plumber, Billings, Montana. So, and I know that seems odd, and how do you balance it and whatever, but this is why when you work with SEO companies, they want you to sign contracts. Usually the contracts are at least a year. Mine are 6 months, but they're often a year. And that's because it takes so long to kind of like gradually rank and see your results. So broken links are also a factor. If you have a link on your website that is broken, that can affect your ranking. Gosh, there's so many. But we do know that some things are more heavily weighted than others. So work with your SEO professional to identify the key phrases that you want to show up for. And also keep in mind, when they're too short, it doesn't make any sense, because most people don't type in like plumbing, because that could mean anything. It means, are you looking for plumbing supplies? Are you looking for a plumber? Are you looking to do it yourself plumber YouTube videos? What does that mean? Most people don't Google that when they're looking for a plumber. They put a little bit more information into that. Also, we need to be aware of speech searching. So find a plumber near me is often for local businesses is often, a good rank. So that's kind of the basics of SEO. I'm going to talk about in the next video about what we call on-page SEO and how you can use your website to rank higher or start to rank higher for certain key phrases.